Hey friends, it's your boy BigTCGFan coming at you with another opening video, and today we are going to open up the starter deck for Force of Will Ghost in the Shell. I was actually really impressed that they got the IP, because Ghost in the Shell is pretty well known. Apparently Netflix is going to be doing an anime series for it, and so they were able to coordinate with them. So we're going to open this up now, and then a little later on I'll open up. I bought one of the starter boxes, the booster boxes. It's like we're going to do that. And it's really funny because this is actually, here's a little thing about how to play. Pretty cool. It's a really popular thing with Japanese. See, they got some of their other product too, just to help sell it. With Japanese card games, is they like to, or Japanese-based card games, they like to include IPs. I think Wii Schwartz is really big on that, and so they like to include them. And so this is the first time that, well, not the first time, I think this is the first possibly successful time. Because Force of Will did something for Vingolf 2 with Valkyrie Chronicles, I think it was called, and unfortunately it was very poorly executed. Ridiculously bad execution on their part. And look, a little play mat. Oh, okay. Very small play mat, huh? But it'll work. Okay, so here we go. Here's this. This is our ruler. It's our Aramaki. Apparently he's important. It's got his thing here, so yeah, we gotta see what he's got going on in there. So it's cool. If I remember correctly, he's not a flip. He doesn't, as you can see, he doesn't have a J activate. So he just, his ability, remove target card in graveyard from the game. You pay one less cards not in your hand. When you play a card this way, draw a card. Nice. So yeah, he's like an engine, because this whole set has like all sorts of abilities that are exiling stuff. So it's like a way, I guess it's going to be like a separate zone, not a graveyard, but yeah. And some of the cards I saw looked very strong, and then a bunch of them were very meh. And it was kind of disappointing that the number of cards that were, I mean, there were a bunch that straight had nothing on them. So here we got our ruler. At first, when I first saw pictures of the frame, this blue frame, I really didn't like it. But looking at it here with the foil, it doesn't look too bad because it's a lot more subtle. We'll see what happens when we get to the point where it's not. Batu and Kasunagi Moto. Yeah, apparently they're all robots, and they got all sorts of cool abilities. So, yeah, here he is. How much is foil? Yeah, not all of it. Okay. Batu, the Matoku's buddy. All right, and then there's this dive ability. And look at that. That's like a massive block of text. He's to suitor her up, which is pretty handy. Bombarding. You may rest it's a chant. You may rest a recovered machine resonator you control rather than pay this card's cost. As you can see, you look at the resonator as a human machine. She's a human machine, so they're like a cyborg pretty much. Ishikawa, the competent supporter. Yeah, and you note everything's colorless, so pretty much any deck can use these cards, and some of them are pretty strong. So this dive one is cool because they're like, oh, you can duplicate on dive, but that requires a focus on that. So here you go. Here's her famous bodysuit. It's near nude looking, but return resonator. So she's another one. They got a bunch of just her. It's like they only have so many characters in the game. See, this is what I'm talking about. Look, in relax was English translation, I guess. 1 for a 4/4, which is meh, whatever. Optical camouflage, return target resonator to its owner's hand. A 1 quick cast that anyone can use, which in my opinion is pretty good. Pretty good. So yeah, here we go. Purin Esaki, the Elite. 1 for a 0/700 with a tap to remove a card in your hand from the game with a Cyberbrain counter on it. And what the way it works, the Cyberbrain counters, if they're on the card, they can be played from outside the zone with the counter on them. Here's Stan, the former armor infantry guy. So yeah. Tachikami C. This card deals 600 damage to target resonator. It's a quick cast for 3, 600, 600. That deals 600 on entry, which is pretty good. I mean, it's not like overwhelming, but I mean, basically you're paying 3 to do 600 damage and you get a body for 600. So that's a good card. And you get your generic 1 casts see this special. Some say, I like the foiling. If all the cards are foiled, which are not. So we'll see how they look when we get there. Produce 1. Gated Town. I know they're bringing Urzatron from Magic, where it's if you got these 3 lands, you tap it for more mana. Void, which is pretty sweet. From what I understand, though, there's nothing quite in this game that can abuse it in the same manner that you can in Magic. But sooner or later, they'll screw up, and that'll happen. All right, and then see, now here's where you get the non-foil versions of the cards. So what they do with that is you'll have people who go out and buy 4 of these starters so they can get full foil everything. I just want 4 copies. I'm not really too worried about it. I just want to have play sets of pretty much everything that I can. I only bought 1 booster box, so I might end up having... I'm thinking I might buy another one and do some trading. I don't know. So yeah, you can see these are just copies of the cards that we already have, so we don't need to do anything. Yeah, see, the frame is not as bad as I thought it was. I mean, it almost kind of blends in because like almost every card is dark, so it's not too bad. I mean, obviously in this one's in the case, but I'm not a fan of this where you just get dudes who do nothing for. But I mean, for 1, I guess is the point. And you would replace that. I know there's a thing that they do that I don't like is they repeat characters. Like they only have a grip full of characters and they just keep doing different ways of them. You'll see, because you'll see all these characters, these 6 or 7 characters that we've seen are going to pop back up when we look at the booster packs later. I like this one. I do like it. The Takikoma C machine, quick cast, 600 damage. Because the problem I have is this card will give colors that normally don't do 600 damage to target Resonator. They'll give access to that for them. It gives abilities for them. You know what I mean? That makes it useful. So there you go. We've seen all the cards there, which is pretty cool. So there you go. That's the Ghost in the Shell starter deck. They're pretty standard with starter decks where they just put in copies of 4 of everything. I really like it. Used to be where they only put 2 copies each and everything, and you had to buy 2 to get it. So this is good that they did that. All right, so there you guys go. That's the starter deck for the Ghost in the Shell Force of Will set. As a special release, merely a tie-in with the anime that's going to be on Netflix. So this concludes my video. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment down below, share if you can. Peace out.